Hey Scorpio gang, what's up? Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. I'm happy to have you all out there. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something or better yourself, your situation. Take away only what resonates for you, because this is a general reading. Some things may resonate, some things may not. So release what doesn't serve you and trust your own intuition above all else, because you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. All right, let's set the intention to get my lovely Scorpio gang, all the Scorpios out there watching, let's try and get them some clear, helpful, and insightful messages wherever they are currently at on their spiritual path. All right, one more good shuffle. We're going to start off with some oracle cards this time, and then we'll hop into the tarot. All right, what's up for Scorpio? What does the universe want to share with Scorpio? What would be most important for them to know? Ultimately, the only way to know about God is by letting your being merge into the being and then seeing what happens to you. All right, and feel free to replace the word God if that's a trigger word for some people. Whatever you believe in as a higher source, right? The universe, spirit, whatever. I think this is about collaborating with a higher power, with a higher source, and having faith that you haven't been forgotten, you haven't been abandoned. Even in our darkest days, our darkest hours, there's always a way to the light. There's always a way to find light. And then let's see. That which is holding you down can become a powerful force that raises you up. You just have to be willing to take the ascent. I love that. That's like your wounds become your wisdom. Something that has been challenging you, or has been a struggle or a hardship or a chapter, a period, a life of adversity. That's your superpower, and some of you are starting to realize that. And maybe you're gonna use that to help other people going through it, or maybe it's just a source of empowerment. Where I think I've said this to you many times. Like, again, this can be touchy, so please know I'm only saying it with like a good heart, but not identifying as the victim, but identifying as a survivor and moving forward in the world with that mentality of like, this situation, this person, this circumstance could have broken me, but it didn't, because like I'm a force to be reckoned with. It's like that very much empowered, very Pluto energy. Like I took a shitty situation and I made something beautiful out of it. A lotus grows through the mud is what I'm hearing. So pay attention, look out for the signs from the divine, acknowledge the red flags. That may have to do with a relationship in your life. Anything else for Scorpio? Self-awareness, tapping into your higher self, questioning routines and patterns. So I think that's particularly important for you. I was kind of meditating on your cards a little bit, thinking about just what's going on in the sky and the universe, right? We're about to embark on eclipse season. Monday, March 25th, give or take a day, we have that full moon lunar eclipse in Libra, right? So for a lot of you, the south node for Scorpio risings, symbolically for a lot of my Scorpios out there, this north node in Aries is aligning you to put more of a focus into your daily routine, daily habits, daily health, daily wellness, not just in your personal life, but potentially at work too. You know, symbolically, those houses have a lot to do with like our spiritual health, 12th house, which is where the south node is. We're being asked to sort of move away from that. And then north node in your 6th has a lot to do with our practical health, like our body health, our mental health, right? It's a house associated with Virgo, which can get lost in the nitty gritty and the details and the perfectionism. But it's also a very strategic sign, much like you, Scorpio, right? So there's a need to get organized in order to live our best life, but I almost want to say like live our healthiest life. And something about this card wanted me to bring that into your awareness. Questioning your routines and patterns and what is no longer serving you anymore. Again, 12th house is spiritual, often the ethers and the cosmos. That's cool and all, but with Libra there, it's like we're being asked to sort of move away from, I don't know, the 12th house connections, which can sometimes be our own self-undoing, like habits that don't serve us, and moving into like that more kind of strong, empowered version of us. But for you, it has a lot to do with changing up, how you live your life. I hope that makes sense for some of you. We are going to hop into the tarot. I'm going to pull one animal card for you. We'll get a little wisdom off of that, and then we're going to move into, I'm hearing making changes for the better. Some of you have already started to do that, and the universe is like, congratulate them. Tell them they're doing a good job. I'm literally getting Ace of Swords, like tell them it's been a victory. So I hope that means something to some of you, but some of you, you've completely inverted, I'm hearing, or changed up your life, your rhythm, your routine, how you show up in the world for yourself. And it is benefiting, I'm hearing promoting your health. So good on you. So you have the earthworm. All right, let's see. Earth energy, digging in the dirt. How appropriate for Scorpio. Let's see. Where might I find our earthworm friend? These are short and sweet, so bear with me. Hopefully you can gain something from this. So the earthworm is shy, hesitant, reluctant to share their inner vision. We have all felt the woes of the earthworm at some point along the way. The earthworm indicates a newbie or a novice working to establish confidence in a new field. Others around you may seem wise and experienced, but it's important to remember they once felt earthworm energy too. This card is a reminder not to be intimidated or to lose hope. Mastery takes time and you're on the right track. Besides, rumor has it, it's a beginner's mind that offers the most valuable insight. When in balance, this card means someone who is earnest, intelligent, and valuable. And out of balance, it means self-conscious or apprehensive. To bring it into balance, make sure you speak up and risk embarrassments. And that's hard, right? Sometimes it's easier to kind of be in the background, right? Remain in the shadows because it's more comfortable, right? When you don't have all eyes on you. But yeah, for some of you, throat chakra stuff, being able to voice a concern or vocalize something, or to simply admit you don't know something, to ask for help, there's power in that. So, all right, Scorpio, let's do it for the tarot. Eclipse season, what might be coming in for Scorpio? What helpful messages can we share that's going to help align them or raise their vibe? What is it that Scorpio needs or wants to hear right now? Or should hear. Let me rephrase that. Not always what they want to hear, but what they need to hear. I just got myself in trouble with the cards there. We'll see. All right, so Knight of Swords. Okay, avoiding a conversation because you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Or avoiding a conversation because you don't want to feel isolated or rejected or judged. That's definitely coming through. So I don't know if this represents you or someone who's trying to come into you, but what is this person wanting to say, but they're avoiding it? There's a butterfly on their tie, so it's a conversation that would actually be helpful in order to allow things to take flight, allow things to take off, or allow things to change and transform in a more, I'm hearing the word breathable, like it would give us some breathing room, it would give us a little bit more space. That might be what this person needs to ask for from you. If this is romantic, it might be asking for more space. I don't know. What is this person wanting? Nine of Swords. So they're anxious about something. They're sleepless nights about something. Worrying about how the chips are going to fall. Worrying about how it might land. I'm almost wanting to say with you, Scorpio. I don't know. Feel free to invert the roles here, but the Knight of Wands. So you have two knights here. Yeah, this one is a little bit more avoidant and detached. And maybe that's giving you anxiety as well. Nine of Swords, our thoughts getting the better of us, our fears sort of taking hold, taking the light, and sort of getting lost in our own thoughts. And then we have to remember it's Mars energy too, so it's like harsh thoughts, sharp. They're edgy. They're uncomfortable. It's like they take a jab at you or they stick you, but it's almost like you're doing that to yourself. So, or this person's doing it to themselves. It's like imagining or envisioning worst case scenario, and I don't know, it's like going off of that fear, but obviously not in a good way. It's letting fear take the light. It's letting fear take hold and start, take the steering wheel, so to say. But then you have the Knight of Wands, so I don't know if this is the same thing. Something about the lips. I don't know what's that about. That always makes me think of Pisces. They jokingly say Pisces have fish lips. I don't know if that's true, but kind of like the Drew Barrymore thing. I can see it a little bit every now and then in Pisces, fish lips, that you're dealing with a Pisces. And that's not really a jab. Like I love my Pisces gang. I don't mean it to be mean. But that's literally what came to mind. So for some of you that might be symbolic. Let's see. Knight of Wands, the Nine of Swords. It's like they want to come through and communicate, or I'm almost getting like save the day, like knight in shining armor with a cape, or like showed up like a superhero or Zorro, as the case may be. Like they want to show up in a big way and be the missing piece to your puzzle, like offer you the key to the door that you've had locked, but something is holding them back. I almost see this as like wanting to make an offer but also wanting to have something of value to offer you. So if they're not coming through, It might be because they're trying to get their ducks in a row, or they're trying to understand what it is that you want so they can come through with that. Does that make sense to anyone? Five of Pentacles to the Seven of Cups, because I don't know, this kind of feels romantic to me. Like they may be very worried that you have other options and that it takes a lot for you to be dazzled. So maybe this is sort of masterminding a game plan and how to come in a very big Jupiterian superhero kind of way. Oh, actually, I thought it was the Knight. I'm sorry, it's the King of Wands. So actually, you know what? I'm going to backtrack that a little bit. I like it better that it's the King of Wands, which I think came up in one of your last readings. It's going from like contemplative energy to showing up in a very big, loud, proud way. But with a king versus a knight, it's a little bit more formulated. It's more put together. There's a better spirit of, it's more stable because it's fixed energy with a king, whereas when there's a knight energy involved, it's mutable, it's changeable, it's adaptable, but it's also flighty. It's not always consistent. Yeah, I like that the King of Wands is showing up for you. But I still say though this might be two different people, because maybe some of you are already involved with a King of Wands. You're not telling nothing. Okay, that's what the lips are. It's like lips are sealed. I was like, there's some sort of metaphor or some sort of like saying coming through about the lips, and it wasn't coming to me, but it's you're being very discreet. I'm hearing like disclosure. There's something about you're not telling nothing. You're keeping it very to yourself, because I think you like that you like keeping this person guessing. I don't know. Just be careful with that, because you don't want to kind of foray into the realm of playing games with people, because ultimately that's what's going to be mirrored back to you. You're going to manifest someone who's playing games with you. And I know you don't want that, Scorpio. But you know, maybe if this is new in dating, maybe there's just like a little bit of like playful, flirtatious banter there. But what's interesting though is like, both of you have this energy of coming off as like cool, calm, and collected. And no offense, like I hate to call you out, but that is anything but the truth for both of you involved here. Like this, there might be three people here, I'm not totally sure, but this energy is coming off as like Knight of Wands, you know, it's kind of like Gemini energy, like cool sunglasses, cool car, kind of like salesman talk, like, hey, how you doing? And I'm going to set you up with this real cool deal. But underneath it, like classic Gemini, like way too many thoughts going on at once, like nervous, freaked out, insecure, neurotic, you know, all those things. Isn't that fear, right? Freaked out, I don't know. Neurotic. I don't know what it stands for anyway. I think I got that from the Italian Job, right? Like freaking out underneath the surface, but just presenting to you as like, oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Like, I don't know. There's just something funny there. And you're kind of doing the same thing. You have this Seven of Cups, being dazzled by life, you know, offers coming to you, or just, you know, maybe you have a good social life right now. Like, I'm not saying you don't have good things, don't get me wrong, but I think it has to do in regards to the situation or the person. You know, maybe it's a friendship dynamic, maybe it's a coworker, whatever it is. You're feeling a sense of lack about it, though. The Five of Pentacles is like fear of abandonment. And again, this fear of vocalizing what's actually going on with you. It is a Mercury-ruled card. Mercury has to do with our thoughts, our communications, our writing, our self-expression, essentially. With Mercury in Taurus, which is what this card is, it's like the fear to communicate what you need, like your necessities or how you're going to feel secure and safe. That's that earthworm energy coming through here of like feeling insecure to ask the question because it might make you look dumb, or feeling insecure to put yourself on the line and say something to this person for fear that they're going to, I don't know, for fear that they're going to reject you. You guys are mirroring each other. So let's just say, for instance, if you don't have another person and this person doesn't either, I don't think, we'll pull cards on that, but if what's between you guys is the King of Wands, there's equal amounts of passion here. But it's almost like who's going to draw the sword first. And again, swords in tarot represent communication. There's almost like this, you know what I'm trying to say, this duel. It's like everybody's got their hand on their weapon, you know, it's like on the holster. Like they got their trigger finger ready, but nobody's actually taking their shot. No one's actually doing the thing. So I'm assuming this is someone that you had a falling out with or an argument with. Maybe it's like you guys just couldn't get on the same page. Like what's the deal here? The Knight of Swords wants to have a conversation, but there's too much anxiety around it to actually move forward. I don't know if it's they don't know what they want or I think you're both fearing rejection. I think you don't want to look stupid. Like, okay, let's just call a spade, and like, again, like, I feel like I always have to tiptoe with Scorpio because I'm never trying to offend or make light of your situation. Like, I know you guys feel things so deeply, and like, I love you for that. So please take this with a grain of salt. But I think there's a funny message. It's being relayed to me with humor here, so just embrace this if you will. As nobody wants to look stupid, because look how friggin' stupid this guy looks. Like, he showed up in a cape and a ridiculous hat. Like, this is the person who shows up to the costume party and it was a joke. Like, it was never a costume party and they came like dressed to the nines in their friggin' Zorro cape. Metaphorically, that's what's going on here. There's like a lot on the line. There's a lot that wants to be expressed here, but it's being bottled up. This very much feels like a relationship where two people are not together. King of Wands is a good card for passion and expression, and yet there's a lot of energy that's being held back. It's just like nobody wants to be put in that vulnerable position to say the thing or to ask the question. Why? I mean, self-awareness is coming through for you. Why? Why is that? I don't know why. I'm just sensing that this is you, Scorpio. Does this Knight of Swords, with all the anxiety, possibly an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, do they have another person? Like, what is this Knight of Swords headed to? Because they're going the opposite direction of you, right? If this is you. Again, feel free to invert the roles. They think about this King of Wands energy, though. It's like they want to step up and be this, like, you know, lion energy. They want to pounce on the opportunity. There's passion there. There's intrigue. I'm hearing the word delightful. There's like delightful energy, but it's like they're too scared to go after it, or this person may struggle with anxieties. They want you back, Scorpio. Six of Cups. Not only is this your card, this is the card of the past and soulmate energy. It's like they're going off in their car, they're taking a drive, but don't get it twisted. They're not going to get too far because the past is calling them back. It's like they can't separate themselves from this narrative or this storyline. They have to return to it at bare minimum to get closure or clarity, but very likely to make amends. It's like something about lifting up. This feels very like Dirty Dancing to me, like when you stick the landing at the end, you know, Baby and Johnny. We got the lift right. I think this person wants to go back. And yeah, I don't know. And this is me personally as a reader. I love the Six of Cups. I think it's a great card. Not every reader feels that way. But yeah, there's something joyful about this. I think this person misses you. So I guess I'm wondering like what came between. Was there a fire sign that came between you guys? Did that muck up the energy? You know, I'm not necessarily saying there was third party stuff, especially if the third party showed up as a king. I don't necessarily think it was cheating energy. But it could have been that you guys were going through a rough patch. Maybe there was wandering eyes and you decided to call it quits to pursue something with a King of Wands. Yeah, I'm just putting it out there. Others of you, this King of Wands represents what you guys could have together, but no one's taking their shot. No one's taking that risk and putting themselves out there, like sticking their neck out to be vulnerable and say the thing. What is your intuition telling you to do? Because that was important. I think you're confused. There's agitated emotions and agitated energy because it's almost like if this is you, Scorpio, there's a lot of people who are interested in you. There's a lot of people who are dazzled by your energy, but it's almost like you don't want any of them. You want this one. And so even though you're social and you have all these, you know, potentially prospects or suitors, you still go home at the end of the night feeling lonely because it's like, I don't want any of those people. Like, I want this person. So what happened between these two, Spirit? Am I allowed to ask what happened here? The Moon. Confusion, feelings, anxieties, depression, Pisces season. Pisces season confuses everybody. But I mean, it's water though. So I mean, in theory, it's like, okay, I think people got too up in their head. The Moon is all about trusting feelings and trusting intuition, but it's like the way this woman's touching her head, it's like we were living too much in our head in terms of like the swords. misdirection, misinterpretation of things. The moon. It could have been travel plans got in the way of something too for some of you. The Six of Pentacles. Oh, okay. People were not presenting as their true selves. The masks had to drop. And it's interesting, I'm saying masks plural. So it's not one person who was sort of parading as something else. And like, guys, let's be honest, there's a lot of masks going on here, right? It's like maybe we wanted to present as perfect, but we didn't want to present as our authentic self because that would make us more vulnerable. I think there was a put on. I think there was an element of having your suit of armor on, right? And I mean, you are the death card, Scorpio, right? You are that, that skeleton showing up in like the knight armor, right? So there is something very protective about needing to have a barrier, needing to have safety and security, and not just kind of wearing your heart on your sleeve willy-nilly. That's not Scorpio energy. There's a privacy. There's an absolute need for privacy and sometimes secrecy, but that's not always in a bad way. It's just, you need time to do you and recharge and maybe feel like you have a safe escape route if something isn't working out. And yeah, I don't know, maybe fear played a big role in this for one or both of you. But I will say both of you showed up and didn't express the true feelings behind this. And so it's almost like you both are assuming the same thing, like, oh, well, I guess they're not interested. Oh, I guess they're not interested. And yet you're both just like, man, do I miss that person. All right, so as much as I'm allowed to know, actually, okay, you know what? What are the red flags here? It says, look out for signs from the divine, acknowledge the red flags. What is the red flags here? Make sure you're not engaging, if it's not truly what you want. There's nothing wrong with going out and dating and trying new people on for size, but make sure you're not rebounding and for the sake of like hurting other people along the way. Or not, so I'm going to rephrase that. It's not that you're hurting people intentionally, but because it's like there's something that you're craving and desiring, trying to live it out through other people when you know it's not what you actually want. Just be careful of that, because I hate to say it, but it's going to like bite you in the butt a little bit. Or it's, I don't do fear-based readings, but it's bad karma. Don't lead people on if you actually aren't interested in it. There's a little bit of Leo energy coming through there. And you do have some Leo energy, which is a little bit like, I like the attention, but I never actually wanted it. Or I never actually wanted anything serious with them. It was just fun to play the game a little bit. That's coming through a little bit, Scorpio, I gotta be honest. So what's the red flag that Scorpio is being asked? Okay. That which is holding you down can become a powerful force that raises you up. You just have to be willing to take the ascent. I think for a lot of you, it's about taking the risk. It's about shooting your shot. It's about rolling the dice. For a lot of you, it's vocalizing something that needs to be said. Because again, here, whatever happened, whoever is to blame, and really it's not about that, you do have a card saying Mercury energy. You're not asking for what you need right now, or what you want, or what would help bring healing to this, and you have no reason not to ask for it. I mean, there's no guarantee you're going to get it, but it's like, how long are we going to let this fear hold us back when like a part of me wants to be like, the solution is so much simpler, or the resolution, the solution to the problem, because it's like you guys are very similar here. What is the red flag here? What's the red flag? It fell out over here, the Four of Wands. I do think this is about entertaining other options. Four of Wands is typically soulmate energy, though. And again, like, look at that. You both have soulmate energy cards here. Okay, peacocking. Trying to make people jealous, showing off, when it's like... And this does not feel very Scorpio to me, but again, everyone's a little bit different out there. So maybe this is a cross-watcher reading for some people out there, but it's almost like putting on the show that I'm fine and I'm good and I have it all together and I don't miss you at all, but that's not effing true. Like, look at that Five of Pentacles. So it's like you want to see this person as your divine counterpart, as your soulmate, and yet you're not letting them into the fact that like you're looking to express some sort of important emotional truth here. And so it's almost like a red flag to you. It is about self-awareness and change behaviors. Like, if you really want this to come back together, be honest about that. And I guess maybe ask what scares you. Is it fear that's holding you back? Is it sort of... Yeah, I don't know. Just the self-awareness of like, why are you doing what you're doing? That's about changing your habits and routines and patterns and how you go about relationships. There might be something that needs to transform and change to bring out the best possible outcome or scenario here. Does this person have anyone else? I said I would ask. Does this person have anyone else? Because, I mean, you kind of do. You might not be interested in pursuing it, Scorpio, but you do have other people who are like, hey, what's up? How you doing? I don't think you're really entertaining it. I think maybe you're flirting a little bit, but you have no intention of like sipping from that cup. Do you know what I mean? Does this person have someone else? The Five of Wands. It's literally the same thing. It's like they have all these hands reaching out, but like, what they want is the past. Make no mistake about it. The Six of Cups. And because that's a Scorpio card, I'm telling you, this has to do with you. You might be dealing with a Gemini, a Leo, possibly a Pisces. Ultimately, the sign doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But what can I tell Scorpio ultimately? Like, what are we allowed to know about this scenario or the situation? Boy, I thought your reading was going to be about work because of the eclipse, but there must be something else going on there. Eight of Swords. Are you going to let fear take the steering wheel, essentially? How long are you going to let the fear simmer and sit in there before you actually liberate yourself from the thought? Because here's the thing. If you choose not to communicate, that's fine, but you still need to liberate yourself from this. This is saying you either need to move on and get yourself into a healthier... There we go. There's that... Okay. Excuse me. There's that eclipse energy of like moving into a healthier routine for your body, for your mind, spiritual health, mental health, because like mental health wise, this is not fun for you to go through. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of feelings attached to this that aren't in a high vibration. So we have to take action to get our vibe high again. So for some of you, that's shooting your shot. That's reaching out and communicating. Or for others of you, it's choosing to end and move on. It's choosing to put an end to an ongoing cycle where you're just stuck. And here's the thing, it takes two to tango, but I mean, I'm going to say there's a lot of passion between you, and there is the opportunity for an excellent communication card. You know, it's Leo energy. It's like we got to stoke the fire, and it gives us warmth. It illuminates things and brings it out of the shadow and the secrecy and the not saying things and repressing feelings. The King of Wands will illuminate that and bring light to it. And not only that, it brings warmth to it. It brings fun. It brings creativity. It brings creative energy. It brings fun energy. It brings sexual energy, right? Like King of Wands, but it's like revealing the true feelings is so painful for one or both of you involved here. And I'm sure this has to do with exes, right? Reasons why you've had to put on that suit of armor or hide your true feelings or pretend to be someone you're not. It probably has to do with damages from the past. But again, like, let's illuminate those and not make them a monster anymore. I mean, I don't love that outcome because it says, is this going to continue? Really? Jupiter and Gemini, we got a lot of thoughts going on, but nothing's being communicated. Be bold, Scorpio. Make the move. I know that's not really your thing, but... This says Cancer, the doula. Feeling, sympathetic, comforting, nostalgic. There's that. Intuitive, birthing, tender, nocturnal, caring, moody, receptive, lunar, sentimental, introverted, defensive, and family-oriented. So Cancer's ruled by the moon, right? The moon is that silvery, shiny beam of light in the sky. It reflects, though. So that's what, and I feel like I've given you this reading several times in the last few months. You are reflecting each other. You are mirroring each other. So odds are when you're all stuck in your feels and you're like, oh, why am I feeling this way? And why can't I move on? Because that person's feeling the same way. There's like a tethering. There's like an energetic pull here. This is a karmic connection. I can't speak to whether it's a soulmate connection or not. I think you both need to find out more. And the only way to do that is to express something and communicate it. So I'm going to leave you with that. But I mean, this is all about the feeling and the trusting of the intuition. So if this is right and it feels good to move forward to it, I think you should, because I think there will be healing and possibly with this doula energy, like a rebirthing, very Scorpio too. You might be dealing with a Cancer for that matter. Others of you, it's like, I'm hearing the word like mother yourself. Like you need to tend to yourself and your emotions and soothe yourself and care for yourself and love yourself. Because if you're both loving from a place of lack, maybe that's why this isn't coming together. All right, Scorpio. Ooh, this was a heavy one. Usually is. Usually is. That's what I got for you. Please remember to like the video, guys. Thanks for showing up on my channel today. I really, really do appreciate you. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell. And if you want more content from me, I am on Instagram and Facebook. I do a select amount of personal readings a month, so feel free to reach out to me via email, and we can try and get a session booked for you that would be more catered to your energy, your inquiries, your questions, etc. I will see you soon for more tarot. Hang in there, Scorpio, and good luck getting through eclipse season.